Hey there, fellow loom knitters. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to create a Vanilla Ruana from start to finish. Now, for those of you that have already purchased a pattern of mine, you know that I do things step by step. And just like all my other patterns, that's how we'll create the Ruana today. I've also taken the time to write this pattern up, and it'll be on my Ravelry page. You can find a link to that below. And what is a Ruana, you ask? Well, it's like wearing a blanket or a really heavy shawl. And because of its basic shape, it's really easy to recreate. Using my Flexee looms, today I'll show you how to create this basic vanilla design, all in one piece, no sewing. Then I'll provide you with a few ideas on how you can personalize it and make it uniquely you. And if you're using a traditional loom, depending on the largest size available to you, will determine the method that you'll use to create your Ruana. But I'll go into more detail about that near the end of this video. To make this project, you'll need a loom of your choice, a loom pick, scissors, a yarn needle, and depending on which loom gauge you choose, will determine the amount of yarn you need to create the Ruana. For the one and only Ruana that I made on this loom, I used about 900 grams or 32 ounces of medium weight yarn. I actually paired two medium weight yarns together and I created a bulky yarn and I used my orange Flexee loom. My Ruana in size went from shoulders to knees and from elbow to elbow. And I say it like that because those numbers will fluctuate for all of us. So whether you're working on a Ruana for your grandchild or your hubby, then it will determine how large you need your Ruana to be. This pattern is completely flexible and anything goes. Now let's get started. Step 1, the chain cast on, and the first 5 rows. For illustrative purposes, I've only cast on 18 pegs with a 1 true knit peg edge on each side. This true knit edge provides a smooth edge that is easily identified when and if you wish to add an edge to the project later on. Your chain cast on should be from elbow to elbow when your arms are held out. The first 5 rows, one by one broken ribbing, and I'll be slipping the first peg and true knitting the final peg. Row 1, slip 1, purl 1, and U-wrap 1. Keep alternating until the final peg, then true knit that final peg. Row 2, slip 1 and E-wrap all the way across to the final peg. Then true knit that final peg. You can replace this E-wrap stitch with a U-wrap stitch to reduce the curling on the edge. However, I found this project will need blocking regardless, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Row 3, repeat row 1. So that's slip 1, purl 1, and U-wrap 1 all the way across to the end and true knit. Row 4 is just like row 2. We're going to E-wrap or U-wrap all the way across because this is a broken rib, remember? Row 5, repeat row 1. And we're going to want to make sure that those purls and U-wraps all line up. So if you purl the first peg or U-wrap the first peg, maintain that in pattern. And when I say first peg, I'm referring to the link. Step 2, the main pattern. So now we're on row 6 and we're going to E-wrap all the way across, except for that first and last peg. Then on row 7, we're going to E-wrap instead of U-wrap and purl. So we've replaced the U-wraps with the E-wrap. It goes a little faster. We're going to repeat rows 6 and 7 for another 30 inches or so until the desired length. And that'll be the 1x1 broken ribbing, an E-wrap purl stitch. And just as a tip, when you think you're getting close to the right length, you can hold it up to your shoulder. Does it fall to where you want it to go? Are you happy with the length? Step 3, creating the collar. Once you're happy with the length, this becomes the shoulder fold. Place stitch markers to where you wish the collar to be, approximately 6 to 8 inches apart, right up here. So in the middle of that panel you just created. Leave your working yarn at the end of the ribbed row. For illustrative purposes, I've left this row unknit so you can see what I'm doing. Starting from the farthest collar marker, chain bind off the collar area only, back towards the working yarn. Leave one peg within the collar area, and this will become the new true knit edge for the front panel. Remove the extra links, leaving one link on the other side to accommodate the new true knit edge on the other front panel. To get a better appreciation for removing the links, I've used the actual Ruana. As you can see, leaving those links in would be cumbersome. This is a big project, but not to worry, we're more than halfway done. Step 4, the front panels. With the working yarn, E-wrap this new shorter row and true knit the final peg. To create distinction, continue working this front panel in pattern for the next few rows. I did about 4 inches or 10 centimeters. When ready, get a second ball of yarn to work on the other panel. Place your loop from the second ball of yarn onto the first peg on the inner edge and E-wrap across the other panel. True knit the final peg and continue working in pattern on this second panel. Please note that by adding a stitch on the inside edge of the second panel and E-wrapping towards the outside edge, you're still maintaining the same stitch pattern rhythm and direction as before. So you're still E-wrapping in one direction and ribbing in the other. These panels can be worked separately or concurrently. Knitter's choice. At this point in time, you can get a little creative. You could change the yarn on the front panels. You could add a stripe, add embellishments, alternate the stitch pattern, change colors for the final few rows. I'm just putting it out there. Whatever you choose to do, continue knitting in pattern, or not, until you get to the same length as the back panel. Be mindful though, because the final 5 rows are going to match the first 5 rows. And in that you're going to, on the ribbing row, on the ribbed row, the odd rows, not that you're counting, you're going to replace the E-wraps with U-wraps. So it'll be now U-wrap and purl, U-wrap and purl all the way along. And that'll reduce the curl on that edge. Won't avoid blocking, but it'll reduce the curl. Step 5, the bind off. So when you're pleased with the length of your Ruana, chain bind off both those front panels. And that's it. The Vanilla Ruana is all done. All that's left is to weave in those ends. And here's a blocking tip for you. Regardless of the yarn that you've used, whether it's natural fibers or acrylic, you'll want to dry block or steam block this piece. Using just a spray bottle instead of submerging the entire piece in water. It would take forever to completely dry. Whatever you do, it's a huge project, so blocking is going to be a bear, but totally worth it. As previously mentioned, there is a written pattern available. And as you can see, I've chosen to level up this Vanilla Ruana. I've added a beautiful rope cable across the front panels, as well as a roped cable all around the edges, corners included. If you'd like the full written pattern, it's available on my Ravelry page in the links below. And here's the fun part. When you purchase the pattern, you'll get early access to 2 bonus tutorials. One, how to create the roped cable, as well as how to add it onto the edge as you go. So you'll be joining that roped cable. Plus, you'll how to add this cabled edge around corners. Versions of these tutorials will be released later on, but pattern buyers, you'll have VIP access right away. Now, a little transparency, because I don't want to pretend I've knit 17 of these things. This pattern was written specifically for the Flexee loom. If you don't have yours yet, there are affiliated links below where you can get yours. The written pattern includes stitch counts for all 4 Flexee loom sizes, though I only have exact yarn amounts for the orange loom. So if you want to make your Ruana on the bitty loom with lace yarn, yeah, I can tell you the stitch counts, but the exact yardage that you'll need, that I don't have. Sorry. This is the 3rd pattern, Ruana pattern I've designed, but this is the only one, the blue one, that I've used with this particular pattern. And it's a big project. So if you're okay with estimating your yarn or picking up an extra skein just to be safe, and you're excited about taking on a big, beautiful, customizable project, plus get early access to supporting tutorials. The written pattern and the supporting tutorials will walk you through everything. Here's a tip. Due to its size, you may want to knit this at a desk or a dining room table, something that will support the project as well as your arms and shoulders. Because after about 2.5 feet, it gets heavy and warm and awkward. Have I mentioned warm? Great to work on in winter months. Not so fabulous in, say, August. Oh, what's that? Would that be the voice of experience? What was I thinking? As I said at the beginning, should you choose to use a traditional loom, depending on the size that you have available to you, will determine the method that you use, and some sewing will be required. I suggest that you create 2 front panels of double length to serve as both front and back, because it'll fold at the shoulder and serve as front and back panels. Then create a 6-inch panel section that will be sewn in between the other 2 panels. This will represent the collar section. Alternatively, to avoid sewing, you can create that 6-inch panel and join it as you go. I've added a link to that video below. This 3rd panel will ensure that the back hemline will hang straight across your knees or wherever it goes. What's that? Oh, there's that voice of experience again. For this 3rd panel, you can opt to use the same yarn and stitch pattern as the other 2 panels so that it all blends in. Or not. You can choose something different. So just to be clear, if you're creating the Ruana in 3 pieces, instead of measuring it from shoulder to knee and elbow to elbow like I did, you'll need to measure it from shoulder to knee and double it for the front and the back panels. Then you'll need to measure it elbow to elbow minus the 6 inches for the collar section that's going to go down the back. At this point, I highly recommend a gauge swatch to make sure everything lines up the way you want it to. Now, just because I added a rope cable strip across the front and then I added on an edge, a cabled edge, you don't have to do that. You can do anything you like. I mean, you can add an edge that's like a basket weave, which is what I did here. You could do a linen. Again, you can do a striped yarn, so you've got stripes across there as well. Self-striping yarn, whatever. Hey, you do you. Another simple edge is just a garter strip edge, and that won't roll or curl at all. You could add belt loops and have it tied up in the front. Alternatively, you could sew up the sides and it could become a vest. You could add embellishments, initials perhaps. And my favorite idea, which if you're creating this Ruana for a child, it can grow with them, because elbow to elbow right now will change, and of course they grow. So you can add strips to the bottom. They can choose the yarn and you can add the strips. It becomes very much their Ruana. And then as they get larger, you can add a vertical stripe all along the edge, the outside edge, and it'll widen with them as well. In fact, this piece began as a Ruana, and I made it too long, so I sewed up the sides, but not all the way, so it's got a great big split from the knee down, and then it wasn't quite wide enough, so I added on the basket weave side all the way around and made it wider, and I'm still not quite happy, so I'm thinking about adding on a sleeve, but I'm not sure yet. Why don't you weigh in? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think I should do next? So thanks for joining me today in creating the Vanilla Ruana, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Stacey from Stitches by Stacey. Thanks for watching.